food, it's trashy, it ain't too classy, it's Hangover Radio.
Good evening, ladies and gents, boys and girls. It's Mark Zolo here, aka the Naughty Nomad. It's been a long time, folks. It's been a long time. God, the last time I did a podcast was back in New York with my co-host Dom Torres. So I'm sure it's been a while since you hear that theme tune. Unfortunately, Dom is obviously not here with me because he's still in New York, whereas I now live in the beautiful sunny Mediterranean. Now I know some of you guys haven't heard from me for a while. I've kind of fallen off the face of planet Earth, but I thought I'd do a podcast kind of explaining where I'm at, and a lot of people are asking me questions like, what am I doing right now, and what's going on with the Naughty Nomad. And I thought a podcast would be the best way to do it because I don't necessarily want to write about it. After the media attacks on me earlier this year, I'm just got a little bit more paranoid. But I know that only my hardcore readers and fans and stuff will listen to this. So I'll share with you because I do miss interacting with readers and letting people know what's going on. So I thought this would be the right format for it. So in this podcast, I'm going to talk about why I've been kind of so quiet, I guess, and what am I doing with my life, why I decided to move to the Mediterranean. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about the difference between, the Mediterranean versus New York City, Manhattan, girls, nightlife, all that stuff, and a bit of plans for the future and that kind of thing, what's going on. Okay, so first thing, I'm sure some of you wondering, why did I leave New York? Well, it was a couple of reasons. I love New York, but it was essentially a visa issue at the end of the day. I got a graduate visa after I finished my master's, which allowed me to work there for a year, and I extended it twice. So I should have only stayed for a year, ended up staying for 2. I was there legally now, but sorry, just pour myself a glass of vino here. That's one thing I love about the Mediterranean. Oh my fucking god, wine is so cheap. Just got I can get a litre of wine for €2 over here. It's fucking brilliant. Turned me into a bit of an alcoholic, not gonna lie. But, fuck it. That's Mediterranean life for you, lads. That's Mediterranean life for you. So, I had the option to get married. I had a girl. I was actually seeing a girl. I should probably give you a bit of story to this. So, towards the end of New York, I was dating somebody. And she ended up moving to the Mediterranean with me, funny enough. It didn't work out, but this girl in question, she was Dominican. She was born and bred in Manhattan. Lovely girl. But didn't work out, whatever. But anyway, she proposed to me essentially and said, I can marry you and you can stay here. But I didn't go for it. She was too young. She was only 21 at the time. And I knew long term, it just wouldn't work. And I didn't want to get married, man. I'm late 20s. I got a lot of crazy ass traveling I still want to do. No way am I getting involved in that and divorce and all. I love America. It's good money, good lifestyle in New York, but it's not worth that. It's just not worth that. And I wanted to move closer to home as well. The one thing I missed most, apart from family obviously, but the one thing I missed most about Europe, by far, was cheap flights. Fuck, I miss Ryanair. I miss Ryanair so bad, and Wizz Air and EasyJet. Ugh. It's so expensive. Well, relatively expensive when you're living in America. Back home in Ireland, I can pay 10, 20 euros and fly off to Eastern Europe or some place where the booze is cheap, the women are gorgeous, and it's a beautiful little charming city. And there's so many options. I really miss that, just the casual traveling. I said I want to be close to home. I really miss my family. So I thought to myself I would go home for a bit, and I apply for a visa for Canada, and actually I did. I ended up not going, but I still can go if I want, but decided not to, because I thought to myself, if I could earn some decent cash in Europe, I'd stay there. And essentially, I decided to move to the Mediterranean because I had some friends here, and I also had an opportunity here to make some serious cash. Uh, Relatively serious cash. So right now I'm in a pretty good position. I'm basically stacking Western European wages in a country where it's Eastern European prices. So the lifestyle is incredible. I've been thinking about moving. I'll just be frank with you. I'm in Malta at the minute, and I took basically I'm on a contract here for design work, and earning really good money, relatively good money. No, it's nothing to be sniffed at. So I'm stacking up, saving up, and the cost of living here is fucking nothing. I'm living in a duplex apartment overlooking the sea. No, well, I can see the sea just barely, but it's right by the sea. It's loads of nightlife around. It's an incredible place. Women are fucking gorgeous. The booze is cheap. Life is good here, and the bars even open later here than New York. You go to Patchyville in Malta. It's 6 a.m. most nights. It's a party island. So life is good at the minute. As I said, I came here. It was tough at the start. I came here with my girlfriend, and we end up having I don't want to get into it. It's a bit personal, but alcohol and bullshit and please call the usual. But we ended up splitting up. It didn't work out. That's the main thing. So, and then I didn't have a job for a while here. I was when I was living with her, it was really easy. I actually achieved Tim Ferriss's 4-hour work week. I was singing in the local Irish pub. I made really good money doing that, and then with the blog and stuff and books, and I actually could get by and live comfortably on working 4 hours a week. So I had the life of Riley. Really, it was like a mini retirement. But God, I was bored shitless. Too much free time. And it wasn't like I was productive with this free time. It just, I don't know, I felt stagnant. But anyway, when I basically kicked her out, my rent doubled. So to survive, I had to basically rent my apartment out on Airbnb. And I'd stay in a hostel. So if I was renting my apartment out for around 90, 100 quid, 100 euros a night, and then staying in a hostel for 20. So I was basically making 80 euros a night for doing nothing. It was grand, but kind of annoying. I still do it from time to time because it's just such easy money. I mean, you're literally getting money for nothing. So sometimes I do it for like a week at a time or something. It covers me rent. But anyway, I end up getting this contract, and now I'm laughing. Now I am laughing. So it's all good. I'm back to stacking cash. I had a good ball of cash coming back from New York. I did a bit of traveling and stuff, and I had to obviously put money down for my apartment, so it dwindled away pretty quickly. But I'm back to stacking cash. So that's what I'm doing with my life right now. I'm enjoying life in the Med. I got friends here. I'm pretty much drinking every night. I don't have a problem, I swear. But yeah, and now that I'm single, I'm fucking cleaning up. Like I was just last week, I was banging a pole dance instructor. Then 2 nights ago, I think it was an air hostess with fake tits, and was a model then before that. So I'm doing pretty well for myself without really trying much. I'm back to my old ways. It's good to be single again. It's good and it's bad, It was the first time in my life I had kind of an adult relationship, and I used to kind of diss people who would, and it was I'll be honest with you, it was a monogamous relationship. I actually tried giving monogamy a chance, and some of you might be surprised at that because I've always spoken out against it, but it just kind of happened. I don't know what to say. They say jealousy is not a natural emotion, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I think I've tried, we tried opening up a bit, and it wasn't your typical relationship. We occasionally would bring girls back, and there'd be threesomes and that kind of thing. So I guess I was sated in that regard. But it wasn't that bad. It's kind of nice sometimes to come home to somebody and just watch shit on TV. But the only thing I found is, God, you watch a lot of shit. Your downtime is just taken over. Women just love to suck any sort of free time you have, and you end up just watching shit and eating shit. And like, try like working your ass off all day, then going to the gym, and then trying to write or do something else productive. Nah, you're just gonna run out of time. It's I think if you're a young productive man, having a relationship is detrimental to kind of getting ahead of the posse. If you're working and going to the gym as well, Oh, time is the ultimate currency, lads. Time is the ultimate currency. So that's why I moved to the Med anyway. You got the reasons there, and I am traveling a lot more. Thank God. Like when I was in New York, I barely traveled at all. I think the most exotic destination I went to was DC. God. Now I couldn't because of kind of visa restrictions. I was kind of limited, but now it's great. This year I've done a bit of traveling. I've been to like Denmark, Morocco. I was in Slovakia there. And then just last month I was in Monaco, Liechtenstein, and Switzerland. And actually on that trip, a great milestone, guys, I've officially now visited half the countries in the world. Isn't that fucking awesome? So those of you who know my blog, on my about page, I say that my number one goal was to visit every country in the world. So now I'm halfway there, and I'm pretty happy. Obviously that's quite incredible considering I've done basically no traveling in the last 2-3 years. Living in New York, I really belted the countries out in my early 20s, so that's good. Now, so now I'm 99. 90. So there's 196 countries depending on your politics. There's 193 United Nations members of United Nations, but most people include the likes of Kosovo, Taiwan, and Palestine. In fact, the only reason why they're not UN members is because of essentially the 5 veto members United Nations Security Council, which would be, I think it's Russia, China, UK, US, and is it France? I don't know. I think they could be the 5, but essentially, though, the reason why Kosovo isn't in there is because of Russia, Taiwan isn't in there because of China, and Palestine isn't in there because of US. Israel. US, yes, of course. Anyway, and a big celebration now next month because I am going to be having my 30th birthday. And for my 30th birthday, I am going to be visiting Iceland, which will be my 100th country. And also the last country I've yet to visit in Europe. So that is, I think it's the best way I could spend my 30th birthday. I couldn't think of a better celebration. And the best bit is, I got my parents flying in. I got my brother flying in from New York. I got a girlfriend of mine flying in from Colombia as well. Fucking gorgeous girl, by the way. Jesus Christ. Met this girl on a cruise, man. She's absolute fucking. She's the nearest thing to a. I wouldn't give a girl a 9 even, but she's absolutely drop dead. But anyway, she's flying all the way from Colombia. She's gonna come here for a couple of days as well. So I got people flying in from 3 continents. I think there's like 8 or 9 of us now. So that's gonna be some piss up. I think we're gonna dress as Vikings or something. Can't wait for that. That's at the end of September. So yeah, I mean, so what are my plans right now? I'm stacking cash. I'm planning for my future. I've done a lot of traveling. I'm not going to stop traveling, but I'm kind of thinking about my future a bit more now. I'm not going to say too much about what is in the works. I have some big plans. I don't want to put it out there just in case things don't work out and circumstances change. But basically, I'm setting myself for my future. I'm essentially setting myself up for sort of an early retirement, if that makes any sense, and keeping myself occupied with other projects. I really can't. I don't want to go into too much, but I imagine about 18 months, I'm going to be probably moving on again, and this time I won't be moving somewhere. I'm hopefully going to be on the road for a good length of time, and I'm back to my adventurous self. I know you miss it, and I certainly miss it, lads. I certainly miss it too. A few things I want to talk about was the differences between the Mediterranean and New York City, because When I moved here, everybody asked me, like, why did you move from Manhattan to here, this tiny island with 300,000 people? And I say to them, it's actually quite similar. It is very similar. I mean, the bars open late every night. The women are gorgeous. In fact, it's interesting about the women. The women are much better looking here in terms of, you got a lot of, they look kind of Italian, they're real slim, good looking faces. And you also got loads of Swedish and Finnish girls who come down here. A lot of them are working here in the gaming industry. It's like a lot of tech companies work here. And he also got loads of tourists from basically all over. And they're all like in the summertime, short skirts. And the legal age here is 16. So you can imagine if you go down on Saturday night to the main area, it's just all basically Italian teenagers in short skirts. It's hormones flying. So the women are a higher standard. But you know what I miss? I miss the diversity. I really miss there's a serious lack of African women, and there's virtually no South Americans. So I really miss that about New York. Just Latin and black women, and just those big juicy asses. You just don't get that here. You get the odd girl, but it's more like skinny girls, which I do get the craving. I get the craving the odd time. That's when I call it my ex, the Dominican. But but the girls are gorgeous. Like, they're very, very good looking, and they're quite feminine. It's a very conservative country, and it was the last country to make divorce illegal in Europe. I think it was 2011. 2011 they made divorce legal. Isn't that crazy? I'm sure my American listeners will think that's absolutely berserk, but yeah, I mean, every other week here there's some festival with the church, and religion seems to play a big part of life here. But you can still get laid. I mean, the new generation are pretty liberal. And the nightlife here is a bit different. So the girls aren't as easy as they are in New York. In New York, you can just rock up to a bar. Now, it's different because I have the accent. I can literally just talk in New York and I'll get laid. Whereas here, you might have to take them on a date, go for a few drinks first. One night stands, they do happen, of course, but with Maltese girls, not so much. You kind of have to work them for a bit. Tourists, obviously, that's a different story. By the way, if any of you guys, anybody out there, whoever comes to Malta, if you're ever in town, get in contact. We'll go for a pint, maybe cruise around, pick up a few chicks. I'm down. I'm pretty much down to go out every single night. If the problem is, my friends here just can't keep up with me. They're all kind of in regular 9 to 5 type of jobs, and they're just not up for it. And a lot of them have girlfriends. They're a bit older now. What the hell is with this? When your friends start turning 30, they all fucking get girlfriends, or some of them even get married. It's like they're dropping left, right, and center, my friends. Oh, it's desperate. Well, here, listen, I did the same, didn't I? I fucking got in a relationship, but now that I'm single, it's just it's looking for fellow bachelors and I mean, I go out alone. I've no problem going out and picking up girls alone, but it's just not the same. Especially if you're going to a high energy environment, you need someone to buzz off. It's fine to go out and pick up women in like bars and stuff, but for high energy spots, I think you definitely need to be either super drunk or with people. And here as well, I noticed in Malta that all the guys, I kind of look like the Maltese. They all have that kind of like Italian look, that with light skin, dark hair. They look like me, and I get mistaken for Italian all the time here. So I look like I don't have the exotic capital that I had in New York, so it's not as easy for me. And also, being Irish here, you're just another European. It's not. It does get you a bit of mileage. People like Irish here, but nothing compared to New York. Nothing compared to New York. But then again, like the quality I'm pulling here is impressive. Like pretty damn impressive. I'm doing pretty good so far. The quantity isn't as much as New York, but the quality is definitely the same, if not, I wouldn't say better, but it's pretty good. So life isn't bad, lads. I just thought I'd give you an update. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. I got really inspired to do a podcast. I was listening to Matt Forney and Mike Cernovich and Milo there during the week, and I just said, "Oh fuck, I must start doing the podcast again." This is the first one I've ever done alone. It's different when you don't have another person to buzz off. You're kind of just almost like talking into just an empty chamber. It's almost like talking to yourself in a way, but it's actually not as difficult as I thought it would be. And so listen, if any of you guys have any questions or anything like that, I might start doing this on the regular if I feel up for it. Might get some guests on and that kind of thing, depending on the response to this. But regardless, shoot your questions in via email, or you can comment on this podcast or whatever, and I'll either do a video or another podcast answering questions. So guys, I think I'll leave it at that for the day. I hope you I got my fix of podcasting. I hope you get your fix. Hope to talk to you guys again. Have a wonderful morning, day, night, wherever you are. Mark out.
Screwed, it's trashy, it ain't too classy. It's Hangover Radio.